and they
Yeah,
did
that's a
that,
beautiful setup right there.
and they did that right on his line right
You
there.
got in on the railroads.
Now I got in on the red candle.
Uh,
It's like this.
okay, yeah, I was telling you, the people they just want like money right away.
Yeah,
It's gotta be
agree with that.
you got it's not for everybody. We were talking about this. It's not for everybody. You have to want to be a good trader before you can make money. It's just the way it is.
How do you break people? How do you get people across that barrier? Because I find it very hard to
It's difficult.
it's very difficult, man. So as a
It's
teacher, I just want to know, how do you cope with all that?
it's not up to me. I tell them that. Okay. I can't teach people. Yeah, sure, I can make them think a certain way. You can't teach people. Um, all you can teach them is what you know, your knowledge, right? Your way of thinking. But if they can't
Mhm.
process that way of thinking, which a lot of people can't, then that's on them. I'll provide all the technical stuff, right? All the rules, the trap liquidity, the stop hunts, the patterns, the dealer cycle, how to think like a dealer. But it's really up to them in the end if they're going to become
Correct.
profitable. You can't teach that. You can't teach someone to become profitable. You just can't.
Yeah, you
It's
can't do
your
that.
own kind of mental, I don't know, psychology, I don't know, your mindset. It takes a certain person to be able to do it. So yeah, when I came in, I had a very bad obsession
Mhm.
with the markets. It was kind of like an unhealthy obsession. And that's just it's just I just love doing it. So yeah.
I won't even call it a bad obsession. It's good.
I mean,
It's
Ours is probably worse, man.
it's
it's
I've got like flashcards all around my house. Like if you come in my room, you'll be like, this
you put
guy's
them on your
crazy.
walls. You put them on
Yeah,
your
I
walls.
got them in my toilet, my
My
kitchen.
whole entire lock screen right here I'm looking at is just filled with screenshots. It's just screenshot everywhere.
Yeah.
every day, every minute, every second, bro. You
Well,
can't
I'm always
detach.
thinking about it. Yeah. I
It's so
mean,
hard to detach, man.
yeah, I know. I mean, there's not a lot of people. There's a lot of people who just teach. Like I said, like I will tell students, I'm going to give you this information. What you choose to do with it is up to you.
Hmm.
I'm going to be here for as long as I'm here for you. Whatever you need, right? Questions, come ask me. Um, but at the end of the day, it's it's a bunch of things you have to put together. It's not just uh, Btmm knowing the dealer's cycle.
Can I
Right?
just add something about you said at the start? You said something like you mixing concept and that we probably mix concept as well. However, like the truth is that we trade only BTMM. However, we deleted a lot of stuff that does not work from BTMM. We just like left what is working and just continued with that.
Well,
We
let me
like
tell you something.
deleted nearly everything from it.
That the pattern, this pattern that I'm looking at right now, at the timing in the equity hour, usually trumps everything. You can be profitable. I tell people this. You can literally be profitable off of just London patterns if you know how to trade them correctly. You're only going to take 2, 3 trades a week, maybe. Um, but if you get that perfect setup, I know
Even a
people who
month.
only,
You
yeah,
can even
even a
take
month.
two, three
And
trades a
actually,
month.
last month, It was April, May. It was May, April. It was like half of April going into May. I didn't see a good London setup for weeks. So it's, yeah. But I do know people who, if you're disciplined enough just to take that trade, if that's your signature trade and that's the only thing you trade, you can be profitable off of that. But people don't have the patience for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people do. We do. You need it. You need to be patient. You need to wait. Let them work the crosses outside the range. Okay, and the news comes in line with it as well. Today was a dangerous day to trade.
Mm-hmm.
But I took GU in the morning. It was 10, 11 a.m. my time. And I knew that once the news came out, it would fall.
Leo,
so I took my 50 and ran.
Can you share your screen, bro? Or Leo, can you do that?
Yeah, I'll do that.
How long have you guys been trading?
I think we have like 2 years. I have 2 years teaching Xtrillions guys, but personally I have like 8 under my belt. And I have seen so many people who they really get into the markets and they go out to do a lot of research, but at the end of the day, a few months pass by, they are nowhere. I see that a lot. And you know, you need that persistence. You need that I love what I'm doing, even when you are on the losing streaks. People, once they get to the losing streak, that side, they never come back. They never recover from that. So I've seen that, you know, I've come through Steve. Steve is a great teacher, man. One thing I respect about him, I've been under him for like a year and a half. I paid for his stuff. I was talking to him.
Did you take the 2019 course?
No, I didn't. I took only the 2012 and the 2013 ones and all the DMR sessions. But what was missing there is being specific. One thing that throws people off is being specific. You cannot, and I repeat so many times because I'm profitable this way. This is the way I teach. I have found that looking at EuroCAD and looking at EU and looking at GU, looking at gold, looking at platinum, looking at all these things, trying to find the pattern, you will not be a master at this. Like I'm talking about, if you really want to reach the consistencies of 10 grand a week, 20 grand, the way Steve has always been teaching us. But one thing that I see it is a flaw on the Btmm is that they are never specific in the pairs they trade. They're all over the place trying to find the pattern, but never try to master how a pattern should come to them. Because they think just because it's an information, this means an information that is on GU, it is the same information you will find on GJ, which is true. But one thing they put out is the timing element of them. Sometimes they will hold, GU will move. Sometimes GJ will hold, or GJ.
Right, and they work each other.
Exactly. But the most important thing I've seen is being so specific in the pairs and not jump from pair to pair to pair to pair. So right now you said you made your 50 on GU, and I take it you trade the news, right?
Oh, no. I actually don't. I don't trade the news.
I just heard you say the news came out and you knew.
Yeah, it was the FOMC. I did today. I don't typically trade the news. Here and there I will. Like if it's an FOMC, if it's high impact, I don't trade NFP. If it's high impact, yeah, I'll trade.
So
But
in
the
this,
most of the time, I try to stay away from it.
in this chart, sir, like, okay, just a brief, how are you looking to enter this? What are your core elements or the core things you are looking for to trade this on this GU chart right now?
Well, if you go to 3:30 a.m.,
Mhm.
you can't. I don't know if you have it on here. I have this. I use two different templates. I use this one, and then I use the Stacy Burke template.
If you don't mind, can we switch to your chart? If you don't mind.
Yes.
And then you'll have the opportunity to ask us any questions, man.
Yeah, that's fine.
No problem.
Okay. Do I have permission?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's here's Stacy's template. It's these sessions are based off of the open hours, right? I mean, obviously, I kept the Asian from Steve's template just because that's what I was used to. But right at the London Open here, with this pin, every time there's a bullpen hammer or a bear pin hammer that clears these stops right here at 3:30 a.m. at the open at the hour, at the equity hour open, automatically it catches my attention.
The bullpen. Can you zoom in, please?
Here.
I see that bar you're talking about.
Okay. Anytime you see this bullpen hammer at the equity hour open, you won't get it every day. Okay, obviously. Automatically that should catch your eye. Okay. There's going to be some type of movement really, really quick here. Right. And especially on EU. Let me pull this up. And I kept the stop hunt boxes as well. Here, right here. Okay, they start with the Asian, right? Okay, up and down, up and down. They expand the range a little bit.
Yep.
Okay, and then at the equity hour open, they give this bear pin hammer. Okay, now automatically you should be thinking, obviously, shorts.
Why
so
shorts?
I just, what's that?
What did you say?
Why shorts? Just because of the pin.
This is short. This is always going to be short. When you have a bullpen hammer like this and they stop to the high at the equity hour open, you should automatically only be looking for shorts.
For the rest of the day?
Yes. Yes. This GU and gold. If you watch Stacy's videos, you'll understand kind of what I'm saying. But he talks about round numbers as well, right? And obviously there's a pattern here at yesterday's high. Okay, you have the divergence on the TDI. It's kind of your typical London pattern. It's not really an M, but this bullpen hammer caught my eye here at the equity hour open. Same on gold. I don't trade gold, but I look at it just
as a confluence.
Yes. So there's a bear pin here. Okay, stops taken out here. Just it's really hard to teach people to look at this screen from the other side of the screen. Okay, stops are getting hit here. Okay, again, stops are getting hit here. You have this pin bar, yesterday's high, they cross below, back below, above, back below, and this is kind of where we were just speaking about Steve and how their M formations, the cross above the 13, below the 13, above, low. It doesn't really work that way. Okay. And a lot of the times, if you get an A top or an A bottom, you know, if you get a stop hunt to the high or low, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you know this, if you dial down on the M5 or the M1, you're going to find a W or an M in there somewhere. Have you ever looked at that?
Correct. I have.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I never go down to lower.
So, Leo, when you get like a V bottom or a V top, and you don't know they're coming back for a second leg, you can dial in on the M5 or typically the M5. I don't really touch the M1. It's too much for me.
I know when they're going to form a V or not. Like, that's how well I know the markets right now.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, I'm just saying, like, typically you're going to be able to dial in and find a W somewhere. Sorry if my computer's really here.
So according to you, sir, yesterday's trade was not as perfect as today was. The drop on GU yesterday is not what you would take, or is it something that it was a setup for you, or it wasn't?
This?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I would have taken this.
So this and that, what's the difference between the two of them?
I would have taken them both. This came, let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, this came earlier. See, this isn't really my window. I don't see, like I said, I look for bullpen and bear pin hammers at the London Open. If I don't really get one of those, I kind of scratch it off, okay? And if I'm up an hour and a half later, I'll look for that pattern. I'll look for the London pattern, the stop hunts. I'm just looking for stops to be hit everywhere, okay? I'm looking for yesterday's New York high and low to be hit, the importance of the Asian high and the low, the importance of the New York high and the New York low. These 12 candle windows, see the pink here?
Yes, sir.
This low, this high, the New York low. I mean the London low, and then the New York high and the New York low. Okay. I don't know if you guys ever took all of those into account or not, but those 12 candle windows are psychological support and resistance. And again, that's from Stacy.
Leo loves the eighth candle.
What's that?
The eighth candle is what Leo loves. Like when he sees the eighth candle pattern, once the setup comes and it finalizes on the eighth bar, that should
be the eighth bar in what's in London.
Yes, sir. We trade London only.
Okay. Did you take this? Did you take this?
No, we did not. We took something else.
We're back, dude. We have some problems with Zoom. Now, we pay for it. However,
I don't know if that was on my end or yours.
Nah, it's our end.
It's our end, man.
We paid for it. However, it keeps on giving us this problem. So we contacted Zoom and we need to resolve this. Shit for business.
I wanted to share my screen and show you on the 14th. If you look at gold on the 14th, at 3:30 in the morning.
Go ahead, I've allowed you.
Okay. So on the M15 and the M5, I look for both. This is what I look for as soon as I wake up, okay? It's when you have a bullpen hammer, knocking out these stops from the previous couple of hours, H1 traders are already stopped out. Okay, you get a bullpen hammer and an engulfment. That's a good trade. 3:30 in the morning. I mean, when this happens, the first candle, right? I talked about the first candle, the equity hour,
yes, sir.
At the London Open. When that happens, it's almost like, I get like, so like, it's so exciting. I can't even believe it still happens because it happens a lot. and this is a trade you take. And obviously there's an opportunity in New York as well, but I tend not to trade New York. I kind of just stick to London. But this is my trading window right here.
So
Okay,
that is your setup.
This is my signature that I always look for. I look for the stop hunt at 3:30 a.m. Right now, sometimes it'll come at 3:45, 4:15 in the morning Eastern time. I don't know if you're getting confused. I'm on Eastern time. Okay. And you get a stop hunt like this. Just a simple candlestick pattern within engulfment can tell you so much about what's going to happen within the next session. Okay, and then obviously there's stops here, stops here. These 12 candle windows are very important. I look at both templates, right? And I do trade the London patterns like you guys do. It's just, I think it is a bit different with our trading. I would recommend looking or watching some of Stacy Burke's videos. I learned I learned this kind of stuff off of him. He started in the US and he moved to Australia to trade full time just because of the timing, right? He didn't have to wake up in the morning anymore.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but he talks about the 1, 2, 3, the bullpen hammers, the bearpin hammers, and then the bullish and bearish engulfments at the timing, the equity hour, the first bar open. That can be your trade. Okay, and I do look at I do like the London patterns. Is that all you guys trade? Is just the London patterns? Do you ever try to catch the peaks? No.
We don't believe in them. We don't believe in the peak.
Yeah. I never. I mean, I obviously tried when I first learned Btmm to see if I could like swing trade. It was a few years ago, 3 years ago. See if I could swing trade off the peak. Yeah. I don't know. Some people find their way around it. I still don't know if I believe all that and how people can swing trade for the month. I'm sure it's possible, but I just don't know the way.
Bro, I don't know if you want to ask us or ask me or ask Leo any questions, but I'm open to that. However, I have a lot of concerns in terms of the way you are trading, it's great, it's working for you, but the way I'm trying to process it in my brain, the way you trade, like I see a lot of, how do I rephrase this? I do not see the simplistic form. I know that you say we need to go to Stacy Burke and watch the videos. I understand that part. The setups on the charts right now, they are so clean and clear, and it even blows my mind how many people don't see them.
Well,
But
you said you wouldn't have taken this.
I would have taken it, but there was something we traded UZOR, we traded EZOR instead of this. So what we don't do is we can look at all the pairs, but what we don't do is we never sell GU and buy ZOR, or we don't do buying and selling at the same time.
Right, because they contradict each other.
It's great. So some people are good with that, but we just stick to one thing. Like if we are focusing on only UZOR and EZOR and ZOR JPY, we'll only find setups and patterns and the traps. Most importantly, we'll find those traps and only find out that one setup, that one pair that we know from our flashcards that it will move. So what we don't do is we don't buy there and sell there.
Right. Because I understand what you're saying. I know. You can't buy GU and buy USD CAD.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you're saying?
Can't do that.
Is that what you're saying? Okay. Yeah.
It's an absolute no for us, man.
Right. Yeah. I understand.
The thing is, when we say we are trading like snipers, a sniper doesn't take out everyone at once. They are the elite snipers. When you think about it in a military way, they are assigned to kill one high profile person, right? So they do not go out killing everyone all at once. That's the job for the Marine guys. But the snipers, the ghost guys, the ghost warrior snipers, they are assigned a specific task to shoot at one person. But before that, they need to learn that person's history. So this is how we think when we are approaching the charts. It's like, okay, dude, there is a lot of patterns, there's a lot of people here, but who is the high-end one? Who is the most sought after? But this guy he's no one can catch it. So we found out that the exotics, no one pays much attention to it, because if I am to ask, like you, if I'm to say to you, dude, do you trade exotics? One thing you will ask, like many will ask, is, dude, how big is the spread on that? They don't understand that the spread is actually our best friend. That's what we love to see.
Because of the disparity, there's a lag.
It's
right?
beautiful, man.
Are you talking about the disparity and the lag?
Spread. No, sir. We're talking just about the spread and the volatility, the way it moves, how it moves.
Ask.
Dude, it's crazy.
Like on the exotics, you can really see it like open up, closing down, grabbing the contracts. It's crazy once you really see it.
Like when you see the big bars. Continue.
On the normals, I was saying they don't do it as much. You don't see like GU opening the spread from 2 pips up to 10 pips.
Would you take this pattern here?
No.
No.
Okay.
It looks, I don't like the move that they did the day before, and the Asia's in the middle.
Okay.
On GU, I will show you something that we will kill without stress. Leo, have you found that setup?
Which one?
It happened month. GU last month, man, was great.
Which one?
The 3rd of June. The 3rd of May, bro. The 3rd of May, GU was just awesome. GU and GCHF, G Swissy.
3rd of May, I see.
The 30th of April, trap to the stop hunt low, and then they make those legs on our RSI. Do you see those legs? The first railroad track, and then they made 3 big candles down again. Then they made.
This is exactly what I'm talking about here. The bear pin hammer, the first candle on May 3rd, GU. This is exactly what I'm.
Maybe we have a different way of saying it, but damn, man, this
is exactly what I'm talking. I just showed you that this is. If I see this, it's go. Like it's just go, without hesitation. Look, the first candle of the London Open, 3:30 a.m. Okay, stops are already pulled, and they shift right away. Okay, so I would have taken that. That's picture perfect.
This, then I would say 100% I agree with you. This is a trade that you can see it coming.
And look at the candle. The timing of the equity hour is so important. I mean, maybe you guys could look at it a little bit, even with your exotics. I mean, I'm intrigued by how you trade.
The GU.
Everyone has their.
Did you look at GU here and look at G Swissy? Because we looked at GU, we found that GU moved first, and then the one to move after that, 15 minutes later, it is G Swissy. So this is how we look at things. Like we can look at GU, yes, GU is beautiful, but G Swissy, it gave you that opportunity to enter if you missed out on GU.
Right.
There was only a 15-minute window, but it is the same pattern.
I know a few people who only trade the pound pairs because their directional bias is pretty much always the same with the pound pairs. You know that, right?
Understood.
Okay, yeah. So I do know a few people who, right. So if you miss the move on GU, there's still an opportunity to get in on a different pound pair.
But we are only looking for that 15-minute window. We're not saying like if GU has left like 2 to 3 bars and then you have to trade another pound pair. We are looking for that just 10-minute delay, that or 15-minute delay with one candle. That's one thing that you need to be early as possible.
It's the fractional disparity.
Fractional disparity, yes.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys really like that, the fractional disparity piece of it, right?
Dude, without fractional disparity, you are not human in trading. For us, we live and breathe by fractional disparity.
Really?
If you do not understand fractional disparity as a trader, you are going to lose.
Right.
That's
this is right in my window as well.
Oh man. We do a lot of videos detailing these type of setups, and they happen a lot. And it's crazy to me that most people just don't pay attention. They love oh dude, you just made $1,000. Congratulations, dude. It's not about that. Do not fucking congratulate. Did you watch this setup? Did you listen to? Did you watch it? Don't fucking congratulate us. Did you see it?
Right.
That's the point of us doing these videos.
Right. Right.
Do you ever let me ask you, do you enter let's say with the pin at 3:30 if they issue it to you?
There has to be an engulfment afterwards.
So let's take this G-Chef for example. You would enter.
No, I won't enter. That's just an eye catcher that there's going to be a pattern like an hour or so later within my window. When you get that bullpen or bearpin hammer, automatically 3:30, your eye should be on it.
So in this case, you would have missed GU because you would have waited for a pattern.
Let's see. On this right here.
Yeah.
This typically, I would wait for a different pattern here. But it's also kind of a multi-session W, as some people might call it.
It is.
Let me dial in. So that could have been enough for me to take it, but typically, no, I would have taken it. Yeah. So if you go into M5, I would have entered right here.
Well, on the shift.
After the shift.
What's that? It's right here.
After the big bar.
It's right here. Stop loss.
How a 1 bar stop always.
All right, pip wise.
1 bar stop.
That's 17 pips.
17.
That's a lot, man.
17. Yeah, 17. Oh, typically, I don't like to go higher than 10 to 15.
My guy, you are missing out. That shift. That's one thing that we need to enter before it happens. For us to take the 8 pips and the 7 pip stop losses, we need to figure out how to be in before the shift. So when you say to me that you are trading after the shift, it is good, it went, but 17 pips, bro. I know you're profitable, which is great, but if you missed out on that big bar, you are late to the party.
You would have scratched.
You so late to the party. It's crazy.
Interesting. So where would you get in here?
On the pins.
Would you get in after this pin?
I would get in on the second one.
On the second one, yeah, which is what we did. G-Swissy was even nicer because if you go back to the 15 minutes, it gave you an upside down hammer on G-Swissy, which is those 2 spikes right there. After the second one, That's go time right there, because you can already see that if you are
There's two
looking
pin
at your TDI,
hammers at the
your
tracer.
TDI
It's at
made
the
a
tracer as
crossover.
well. Yeah.
Dude, it is easy. So for you to take after the big bar, you are not supposed to be trading. You're supposed to be like, okay, dude, I missed.
So you're saying catch the vector before it happens. That's how you
Yeah.
guys like it.
You need to see
So
it coming.
if you
like,
cannot catch the vector, bro, if the vector cannot be caught, you are risking
It's
a
not a
lot.
trade.
You are risking a lot of money. It's a
Somehow
trade
I get
because
away
it
with
goes.
it. I've
It's
gotten
great.
away with it for a year and a half now.
This means you know the direction. It's great to know the direction. It's awesome, but to know that the setup is going to shift before the rest of the world, because people are saying, okay, they look at all these things. Remember that people are not all the way stupid. They figure things out as well. So they would say, okay, I can see that the spikes to the low, but I am not sure. So what will they do is, okay, since I'm not sure, let me wait. So the time they look at, they see that big bar, they are like, okay, this is
It's
my
too late.
time to enter. They'll be like, this is my time to enter, which is they will enter and the trade will go. But since you understood the setup before it happened, you are supposed to be in before them.
So you have a 6-7. You have a 7 pip stop here.
7 pip
even
stops,
less.
even less.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes
like
you go 6.
well, with your spreads probably. Well, in the US, the spreads are. Yeah, it's impossible to get a nice regulated broker over here. It's always been.
Traders Way is trash, bro. I
Yeah.
used to trade with this. I understand where you're coming from when you talk about the
Yeah.
broker and the spread. They're
Well,
killing you guys over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I
Well,
know.
everything I do is yeah. What were you gonna say? Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say.
We are talking about the brokers. Like these guys,
Oh yeah.
you guys are being restricted so much over there. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't know why that is and why it was built to be that way, but that's the way it is. So, I'm intrigued about the exotics though. Now that you're speaking about them,
Dude, we would take like 2,000 pips to us. It's breakfast. What is your average pip target with your trades? What do you want to reach?
30
pips.
30. If I have a 10 pip stop, it's always going to be a 30 pip profit. Take profit. I won't go higher than that unless I'm trading a pound pair.
I don't know, man. Do you want to ask us any deep questions or whatever? Do you want to ask us anything?
Well, what would your target be?
What would
your target be?
What do you mean by target? Target is a big
word. It's always like 25.
As
the first
pips
one.
wise.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Pips wise.
For me, it depends on the pair. Like
that's what pound pairs I'll tend to go maybe 10, 12 pips higher. But it also depends on where my stop is. So I always try to have a 1 to 2. If I'm anything below 1 to 1 to 1, 7 or 8, I'm not going to take it, because sometimes, like you said, about these shift bars, like if I'm late to the party, and the shift bars, it's too big, I can't take it. But that's also just cons of being in the US, because I have to have a certain I wake up at a certain time. Sometimes, sometimes I'll sleep 15 minutes more and miss the candle, or I'll miss the move when it happened.
So you're saying you wake up like 15 minutes earlier than 3:30?
15 minutes. If I wake up, okay. So if my alarm's always set for 3, okay, because I want to be there at least 30 minutes before I sit at the chart and I wait.
Can I stop you right there?
What's that?
You need to wake up earlier, because there's people people around the world who dress up in suits that go to their job to take away your money, and you come to the battleground less prepared than them.
But that's the whole point of sleeping for 3 hours. I can't not sleep. I just can't not sleep. And I have to build it around my schedule, right? For you guys, it's different.
This
You know
means
what I mean?
you have a hectic life, don't you?
Yes, and I'm obviously not waking up blindsided. I'm waking up projecting. I always project my moves out. I always send them. I always send them out. I'm always projecting moves, but it's kind of a lot to take in that 30 minutes. If something happens, I kind of have to catch up a little bit. That's just the way it is here.
Mm-hmm.
That's what works. That's what works fine for me. So
I don't know, man, but I'm concerned about the way you're making your entries. I think you're great in the setups, in the way you are viewing things. But to enter after the shift, I think you are very late. Like, look at this setup right here. Same thing, the 19th of May. If you are to tell me you are going to enter after the big bar again, what just happened?
was that what day was that? May 19th?
The 19th of May.
Yeah.
15 minutes. There was a big bar right there. If you tell me that you're gonna enter at the top after that big bar, again you missed. Where is it?
Well, there's also divergence here. After this pin to the low. Yeah, it's a trigger.
Okay, if you're looking at 15 minutes,
but I wouldn't have even taken this. Right.
Okay.
So if I'm at 5, I say you get the pin bar.
Yep.
But it's they already cleared stops here. I honestly wouldn't have even taken this at all. I would have waited for something to come down here and blow these out first. Because ultimately stops are here at the low of the day. So I wouldn't have taken that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have taken that. But you guys would have, I don't know, that if you would have taken that, then everyone's different.
This setup, like, you have the flash cards, right?
Yes.
When I look at this personally, I look at this and then I look at the 3rd of May and I see that how is it that the 19th of May and the 3rd of May GU, it's almost the same thing in terms of the way it trapped people with yesterday's railroad tracks.
They look exactly the same. The EMAs even look the same.
It's crazy, man. That's all we use. That's what we use, and it's crazy that most people don't pick it up.
Yeah, and you guys like to, I mean, obviously you're watching other things too, right? You're looking at the different pairs for your disparity. But for me, I need this to get hit first. That's just me. I need this low to be blown before they shift. So I would have missed it. Yeah, I would have missed that then.
Yeah, I'll see.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, if you watched Stacy Berg, you would understand like kind of what I need stops to be hit here. I need stops to be hit here. I need 1 hour traders to be triggered into the market. I need 4 hour traders to be triggered in the market, 15-minute traders to be triggered into the market before I can actually make my move. So right here, if this doesn't get hit, I'm not going to trade it.
Yeah. No, I get you, man.
Okay.
Leo, any questions? You good?
Yeah, no, what about here?
No.
Let me show you what we love. Leo,
I wouldn't have even taken any of this.
On user or
dude, go to the 1st of April.
Wait, let me share Friday's trade. The one that was great on a GSEC.
GSEC?
Yeah.
I don't even know if my broker provides that.
It's crazy.
It's gonna look.
Is it ZK?
No,
is it ZK?
S.
S.
He's going to look at his spread. He's like, oh, whoa, look at that spread.
SEK.
Got it on 800 right now.
It's gonna be like
No.
it's crazy.
It's GBP SEK, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my broker doesn't even provide it.
Damn.
I'll share the screen. Where is it? This one.
How old are you guys, if you don't mind me asking?
How old are we?
Yeah,
I'm
You look
21.
very young, right? 28.
you both look pretty young.
That's a compliment.
You look younger than me. You look younger than us.
Oh, yeah.
No,
I'm
I'm
20.
saying, yeah,
You're
I'm
20.
20.
So think about this, right?
You're 20 and you're teaching. That is crazy.
Well,
I'm
I've been
about to say
trading
that.
since I was 15.
I'm about to say that. What 30-year-old or 31 or 40-year-old person is going to listen to a 20-year-old teacher? That's what I keep hearing most of the time. It's like
Ooh.
you do not have enough experience to be teaching, boy.
I don't think it's that. I think it's you don't know how much experience someone has looking and staring at these charts for 12 hours a day at one point for months. That's called experience. I don't care about age, experience. You know what I mean?
Yep, 100%.
I put in the work. Everyone's different though. So this was Friday, right?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Fridays. I took this trade. And
This one I was very impressed, man. The way you took it, the way you handled your setup here, dude. I loved your setup. I loved your entry. Why did you take the setup?
why?
Just a
Because,
quick brief.
well,
Quick brief, man.
we can see straight away what the yesterday's data been doing. So if we look at this portion of price, we can see a leg here, leg here, leg here, all spikes. So the market makers just going down, grabbing people, then going back up, then going down, up, grabbing people, then up, down, up.
Those
then,
legs were classic, man.
Yeah, typical. And then the next day, I expected a stop and low and rise to kill anyone who sold into this. I wanted them to get killed by doing that, and they did
It's a beautiful setup right there.
And they did that right on his line. Right
You
there.
got in on the railroads.
No, I got in on the red candle. It's like
really?
Yeah.
I said, wait,
We have it on video, man. We have it on video.
Wow.
I think I got a screenshot of it somewhere.
Were you looking at the M5 or no?
Nah, just M15. That's what I mean is when you know your trade really well, you know when they're going to form a
Well,
V
I would have.
or when they're going to form a W. That comes with like even deeper understanding.
Well, you guys also focus on these. I guess you love your exotics, right? You only trade a few different pairs.
Honestly, I wouldn't say I love the exotics. I just think they are just like any other pair. There's nothing more. I think they're easier. Actually.
Yeah, but you like you think the disparity is stronger.
Here I will say, I will speak for myself. I love exotic pairs. I love them. I love them, bro. The ZOR and the SEC pairs, they are gold patterns, man. That's why we focus on them a lot, because we can do like sometimes we do 4-hour Zoom sessions just talking about these flashcards, going over and over to see that, okay, I see that the setup was going to be on the railroad track, but how do you know a railroad track is going to happen before it happens? That's why you can see Leo executing on the red candle, because a setup that looks like yesterday, those legs yesterday, it's a clear giveaway.
Can you see?
Crystal.
Can you see my screen? I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
was the anticipation the night before. And then that was
Beautiful.
my entries.
That's beautiful, man. Did
Yeah,
you
that's
print?
picture perfect.
Did you print that?
No, I need to. I need
These
to
need
get
to be
and
printed.
that needs to be on the wall of like awards.
They need to be printed, man. This was pure classic.
That's perfect.
11th
Right.
of June. Beautiful.
And people
So
don't
these are the
understand
things we
how
love.
we get those entries. Like
I do
we-
understand.
mm,
You're right
I-
off a candlestick pattern, though. I'm more of a.
I'm not.
I like
I'm-
to see something more than that.
I'm into the understanding of what the retail traders are doing and what the market makers are wanting the retail traders to do.
Well, you're thinking on the other side of the screen.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that's
I completely immerse myself. It goes deep, like right there, like what I was seeing. You see the orange here. That's the 200. That's the 800. And then I saw them burst out of the Asian session to my strike zone. And I was like, I know what you're doing right there. Like,
Mhm.
I understand that you're just inducing short with this big red candle.
Mm.
And the timing as well.
Yeah, timing is very important, like you said as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, that's right off the box.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
You say you
where
only
is
trade.
you
Go
said
on.
about the spike thing at 330? In this case, what would you have used?
Nothing, because these stops that lead out of the Asian session aren't hit yet. Right? That's just a key for me to look. So if they had if you look at that blue candle, is that 330?
This one or this one?
The blue candle, wherever the 330 candle is. If you saw a bear pin hammer,
That should
right?
be 930, right?
This candle, the red one.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you saw a bear pin hammer spike down, okay, and come back up and close with that engulfment, that would have been my key for entry. Okay, so I would have already started looking at that. But the fact that you got in on the railroad track, the bear railroad track,
The wick.
kind of blows my mind.
Well, you should see the other dudes.
But I mean, there's
entries.
no that setup isn't there. Like that setup that I was just talking about, which isn't the only setup I trade, right?
Mhm.
Okay, it's just something I look for. It's just kind of like my thing. But there's nothing there, so that is already scratched. So I would need some kind of. So there are stops getting hit, but I still don't understand. You get in on the bear railroad track. I need the engulfment after that.
You wait for
After the stops are
confirmation.
hit. So the stops are blown, right? H4 Asian session, the box is cleared, right? They come below the box.
Yes.
All yesterday's, all that consolidation zone at the end of London there, they're all hit. So
Yes.
even H4 traders are triggered in. So I probably would have taken that trade, but I don't have that pair. My broker doesn't provide that pair, but that's something I would have taken as well. But the bear candle, I would not have gotten it on. I would have needed some kind of confirmation of.
Could have entered there as well on this railroad track-ish.
That's what I would have done. Yeah.
However, the stop loss, like I entered with a stop loss of like 5 pips.
Really
Yeah.
Yeah.
interesting.
And
That's
then
awesome.
if I entered on a railroad track, it's like 13 pips.
That would have been mine.
So I'm
So you would have had me
risking.
beat. You would have had me beat there.
It's not bad, the railroad track. Let me tell you, like it's not a bad entry. I could have placed more lots on that railroad track.
Right.
Because it was confirming that the trade is going in my direction.
Right, you could have scaled in a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of doing that unless it's got to be something like that where you get in on an early railroad track or something of that kind. Or if I got in at the bullpen hammer and then the engulfment comes and then you can get in again. But it still is a London pattern, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're all London patterns. It's just not everything's going to be a W.
Let me
Or
show you
an
something
M.
else. These are yesterday.